Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's the big day. It's Real Madrid against Manchester City. It's the Bernabeu, Real Madrid's famous home ground. So the question is, can City do something? They have beaten us at the Etihad. Well, it's time for us to reciprocate that favor. Well, it's time for us to say, who are you? I don't care if you're Madrid. It's time for us to look in the eye and just tell to Madrid and its fans and the crowd that I don't care. I absolutely do not care. Whoever you are, this is City, this is Manchester City. We are not a side who fear. We are a side instead who induce fear. That's what we are gonna do to all your fans, to all the Madrid fans. I mean, that's the attitude we need to have. We need to have a lion's heart if we have to get something from here. I'm just looking at the Villa versus Liverpool match until this starts. Once a few people join in, we can actually discuss about the lineup because there are quite a few things I actually want to illustrate, especially with the lineup. Pep Guardiola has gone absolutely tactical with his lineup. There's not one player in that City team who's not good with the ball. He's gone absolutely tactical. I'll tell you what he's maybe trying to do, but let a few people join in, and until then, we'll watch the Aston Villa versus Liverpool match just for a bit. This is a mighty, mighty important match. Just imagine, even if Liverpool draw this match, the pressure they'll be under coming to us. Pressure they'll be under coming to us will be massive, will be absolutely massive. Villa are, I mean, it's Liverpool away to be honest, and Liverpool are away to Villa, and Villa keeping the ball well. If this is a draw, then the price is just on Liverpool, to be honest. 5 points, if this is a draw, for example, 5 points is nothing with 13 games to go. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, the lineup is pretty interesting actually, which Pep has gone with. Is gone with first thing. I will not talk about Kushner against Vinicius Junior as the first thing because the entire day today and even yesterday I was just thinking about who would be the best man to deal with Vinicius Junior. It's not Rico Lewis. It's Kushner. It's Kushner for sure. I mean, I think Pep would just be thinking about when Akanji got injured. If Akanji is fit, I mean, if Akanji is fit, there's no doubt that he starts over Kushan. Now, Akanji's pace is underrated, but I think Pep goes back to that Etihad game and you'd be thinking, well, I should have taken a chance with Kushan now rather than Rico Lewis. I know why he did it with Rico Lewis. He probably thought that he wanted more. He wanted more bodies in the midfield. That's why. I mean that's why he actually played Rico Lewis, but But I think I'm just going back to that final goal which Rashford is in. Rashford is in, and it's a corner. Liverpool are struggling, to be honest, at Aston Villa. 15 minutes more to go for our game, but yeah, Rashford, I think there was clearly onside. I think I'm just that's a ball in, but Allison catches it well. But I'm just thinking about that final goal that we conceded. If Kushner was in place of Rico Lewis, I think Kushner with the fouls Vinicius Junior, or he sprints with Vinicius Junior and gets on the end of that. Because at that moment, I think you need to be thinking more as more like a defender rather than as a forward thinking player. I think that was the one thing which we that did not have with Rico Lewis in the first leg. I mean, yes, Erling Haaland's not playing. That cannot be an excuse. I mean, injuries do happen in the season. Injuries do happen every season. But the point here is, I mean, tactically, I just think with Rudiger, I think Rudiger is the best when you actually give him. Rudiger is the best when you give him a person to mark, like uh when you give him a striker like Haaland and tell him mark him. I think Rudiger is the best at that. But if you give Rudiger a false nine, which means there'll be no one to mark. Then what else can Rudiger do? I think maybe Pep has gone that route. I think Pep has actually gone that route, to be honest. And I think that's one of the reasons he's played Marmoush. And many people are thinking Marmoush will play like a traditional forward. He'll just play in the place of Haaland, but that is not the case. I think Marmoush will play up the left, Savia up the right. Foden will play as a false nine. Ole Watkins has put the ball in the Liverpool net, but they say it's offside. But then let us see who's offside over there. Let us see VAR can do anything, but that is some lovely play by Marcus Rashford over there. I think the VAR is checking. The VAR is checking. Yes, Rashford's clearly offside on the return ball. Rashford's clearly offside on the return ball, to be honest. Yes. But I think Marmoush will play on the left, Savio on the right, and Phil Foden will play that false nine position. And I don't even think Phil Foden will actually play in that striker position. Or I think what Phil Foden will do is Phil Foden will interchange with Ilkay Gundogan. Good defending there by Tyrone Mings. To be honest, Emiliano Martinez made a stupid run over there, but I think Jota was offside anyway. People say that the first goal in this tie is important. Probably, I think it is important, but but I'll tell you what is more important in this tie. I think the spirit. Even if we go a goal down, do not let your heads drop. I mean, you have to remember the past stories of how the star has gone in the modern days. Real Madrid two Real Madrid were at one point of time two goals down, and yet they 5-3 down. You all remember that Bernabeu, this thing right the year before we won the treble. Aston Villa are just holding on here. They're struggling. It's actually an end-to-end game, which is very very good. But yeah, like I said, if Madrid can do it, we can do it as well. It doesn't matter whose home it is right now. All you've got is one knockout football match. If you can win this match by at least scoring two goals in aggregate, I just think that you win. And do not let the opponent score, you win. Bayaji says no other reason than a cautious approach towards Haaland. But Bayaji, I also think this could have been a gap. I mean, this could have been not a gap, but this could have been an opportunity for Pep Guardiola, right? I mean, we have seen Antonio Rudiger from his. We have actually seen Antonio Rudiger from his Chelsea days, right? Antonio Rudiger is such a forward that if you give Antonio Rudiger someone to mark, he will just stick to him. He will physically destroy the striker. We have seen how Antonio Rudiger was so good against Erling Haaland in the previous ties last season. But what is the weakness of Antonio Rudiger? I think the weakness of Antonio Rudiger is you give if you give his brain food for thought, if you tell Antonio Rudiger to think, I think that is when Antonio Rudiger is actually at his weakest. Now I think the plan from Pep Guardiola will be not to give a centre forward for to mark for both the Real Madrid defenders. Imagine Marmoush on the left, Savio on the right, Phil Foden playing false nine, which means Foden will drop into the midfield, and you can almost say Gundogan and Foden will alternate making those runs through the centre. And it could also be Marmoush could alternate making those runs from in to out, which means it could drag the full back from in to out and create space for Guardiola on one side, for example. I actually think. I mean, even last time, I thought maybe when we lost to Real Madrid the first leg at the Bernabeu last season, even I actually thought maybe Alvarez could have been a better alternative to Erling Haaland, just because the weakness of Antonio Rudiger always is if you give him no one to mark, he is destroyed. He does not know what to do. Imagine Phil Foden is the striker. Nominated striker comes into the midfield. Rudiger follows him into the midfield. Gundogan makes a run, bang. Marmoush makes a run from into out, bang. Guardiola makes a run from into out, bang. So I think that could have been that could have been a strategy. Voyager says if we win, it's a miracle. If you lose, then no shame going out to 15 times CL winner. Voyager says low key. I like this lineup except Bernardo inclusion. He offers nothing this season. Maybe in false nine, Bayaji. Just imagine in this false nine system, Bernardo could do false nine, Gundogan could do false nine, Foden could do false nine. I mean, I think certainly this could be anything I know, but I think this is the best thing that lineup Pep probably could have put out. Probably I like Kushana right back, Guardiola left back, of course, Stones and Diaz. Touch and go. I would have preferred Ake Stones, Ake Diaz. I mean, it's touch and go for me. I quite like the midfield, Nico Gonzalez, Gundogan, like you said about Bernardo Silva, but I just think we don't have any other alternative in that position. I think box to box player who can carry the ball out of the press, Bernardo Silva. I think we sadly do not have any other options. And then Marmoush left, Savio right. I mean, if by this is, but Haaland was creating space for Marmoush to run into in the Newcastle game. I mean, yes. I mean, yes, that is also a point. But here again, Bayaji, I think this could be even more effective because so, be- be- because suddenly, I mean, if Haaland played, of course, I would be happy. But I think what I was saying is this injury for Haaland is not doom and gloom because let's imagine Haaland against Rudiger, which means Haaland will might actually drag Rudiger into the space. Then let's imagine Raul Asensio will mark Marmoush. It's a bit more straightforward in a way. Raul Asensio will mark Marmoush, right? That could be done. But in a false nine system, I think it's a bit more complicated. You do not, in a false nine system, you literally do not know who is dragging out whom, right? Because there's no one to bloody mark for both of your centre backs. So I think this could be even more complicated for both of the Real Madrid centre backs to play with. The best attributes of both the Real Madrid centre backs are strength and physicality for Rudiger, pace for Raul Asensio. I do not think tactical awareness, positioning, awareness of space is the best attribute of any of these Real Madrid centre backs. Maybe if David Alaba was playing, maybe if an Adam Militao was playing, it maybe was different. Paige says Erling has been our only reliable goal scorer this season. Everyone else has been pathetic in front of goal. I agree, I agree. But in a way, Foden's been getting into form. And Marmoush is, yes, it is Newcastle hat trick, only 3 goals, but Marmoush is almost there. So I think we are getting a goal threat. But Bayaji, just a bit. I was just hearing links about Florian Wirtz to City, and I'm just thinking what a midfield that would be next season. Rodri, Nico Gonzalez box to box, Rodri holding. Of course, they can interchange roles in the match depending on what they want to do. And then Florian Wirtz. I mean, I've seen Florian Wirtz closely. I haven't seen him before as closely, but I've seen Florian Wirtz closely yesterday, the day before, and it's just wow, what a player! His range of passing is just outstanding. I think he's better than Jamal Musiala in terms of his range of passing. He's the best playmaker in Europe right now in terms of his range of passing. Florian Wirtz. Just imagine us getting Florian Wirtz, who can drive with the ball and score, or he can pass those balls. His passing is excellent, and we have Marmoush making runs, Haaland making runs. It would just be fantastic. Bayagi says even with false nine winning by 2 goals at Bernabeu seems near impossible task. Let's just believe till the end, Bayaji. That's all. That's all. let's actually just uh, let's actually just believe till then. That's all. I think this is one of the ties where you can actually accept if we go out of the Champions League at this stage. It's not because Baiji, if we go out of the Champions League at this stage, it's not because of this match. It's because how we played in the group stage. We should have beaten Feyenoord with 3 goals up. I don't say that one-off match Feyenoord can of course win 1-0 with you like they knocked out Milan. But you're 3-0 up, 10 minutes to go. If you would have won that match today, you would have been playing some Celtic or some smaller team. It's your fault that you have had 18 shots on target against Sporting the Lisbon. You missed a penalty against Sporting the Lisbon. It's your fault that you were 2-0 up against PSG and then shit your pants without doing anything. So the reason we get knocked out of such an open Champions League is not because of this match. Against Real Madrid, anybody can lose. It's because what we did in that group stage. We should have beaten Feyenoord. We should have at least drawn with Paris, if not beaten them. We should have beaten Sporting the Lisbon. One more point here and there, and we would not have had to play Madrid. Or even if a bit of luck was there, we would have played that Bayern team, who, by the way, just narrowly escaped going out against Celtic. We would have thrashed them. Any other team in the Champions League apart from Real Madrid, I think we would have thrashed them. But the reason we are going out of the Champions League is not this game. For me, it's how we performed in the group stage. Bayaji says, how I wish we had this Madrid lineup last season. Bayaji, last season we went out just because the luck was not there with us. KDB missed an open goal, Foden missed an open goal, and Bernardo missed a penalty. We got the luck three times and we couldn't utilize it. Last season we would have destroyed. I mean, if this Champions League was there last season, the same teams in it, same format, whatever, we would have won this Champions League by Aji. Which team is strong? I'm not seeing any strong team. You would say Arsenal without the forward line, come on. Or you would say Liverpool. I mean, Bayern are not the Bayern, Madrid are not the Madrid. Barcelona, well, I was talking to a Barca fan and he was telling if City play Barca, City are going to win mostly. But believe, Bayaj, it's almost starting. Believe, pride in battle. We believe till the end. Everything is achievable. Come on, guys. Let not the heads drop. 90 minutes. 90 minutes to achieve glory. Really, this is the Champions League final. This is the Champions League final. Really, this is the Champions League final, to be honest. Because I don't see any other, strong harder team for us personally than Madrid. You could say Atletico Madrid, PSG and all, but I don't see any other team in this competition stronger than Madrid. Whatever lineup they have right now. Coutinho says, is Haaland injured? Yes, a little bit of a knee injury. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. And also, I think this is an opportunity for Pep Coutinho tactically. I think Pep's gone out here thinking if I give Rudiger someone to mark, that's his strength. But if I play Rudiger without giving him anyone to mark, a false nine, that's his weakness. By this is precaution for Hall and no other reason can be exactly just a precaution and also an opportunity for Pep in terms of playing false nine. You can already see Marmoush playing off the left, Savio off the right. There's no one in the middle. Both the centre backs of Madrid have got no one to mark. Just observe this, guys. Both the centre backs of Madrid have got no one to mark. Look at it. Look at Savio, Phil Ford, and Gundogan's playing false nine. Kusanov against Vinicius Junior. This can be the making of a future superstar, depending on how it goes. Abdubakar Kusanov. Wow, what a young man. How the young man is getting used to life at City. Made his debut against Chelsea, then played against Newcastle, started against Newcastle, now starting directly at the Bernabeu against Madrid. In a month, this man has gone from playing teams in Liga, the French league, to playing the elite of the elite in the Premier League and the Champions League. But says Kusanov is right back. And just to clarify it for all our viewers, Kusanov is faster than Vinicius Junior. Kusanov is the fastest man on the pitch. He is faster than Mbappe. He is faster than everyone here. He was the fastest player in Liga last season. This could be the Kyle Walker replacement, though I'm thinking Andrea Cambiaso is the one. The role of Nico Gonzalez will be very, very interesting. Keep an eye on Nico Gonzalez and see. They have put two people on Nico Gonzalez. I remember 2011 once Madrid put two people. I remember, I think it was 2010, 2011, I think. Pep's Barcelona, Madrid. I mean, Mourinho put two people on Busquets when Madrid were playing Barcelona, and the way they were humiliated was out of this world. Why this is Kusanov a straight line pace, but what about turn and running pace? Apparently he's fast there as well, Bayaji. Apparently they say that he's fast there as well. That's what I've read about him in articles in athletic and stuff. But he's Madrid score, Mbappe scores. Mbappe already scores. It's 4-2, 3 minutes up, and Mbappe scores a ball over the top. Well, Kushanov might be having pace, but Ruben Diaz does not have the pace. Ruben Diaz does not have the pace. Ruben Diaz does not have the pace. John Stones does not have the pace. Diaz does not have the pace. And he's clearly on side as well, Mbappe. Baez says, what a silly way to do a mistake, to concede from the very first chance. It's the mistake of Ruben Diaz, Bayaji. Ruben Diaz has to get to that ball. Ruben Diaz cannot miss that header. Ruben Diaz cannot miss that header, to be honest. Ruben Diaz absolutely cannot miss that header. It's the mistake of Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz cannot miss that header. Uh, and I think the game of John Stones is done as well. I think John Stones is injured. Is going off. I think John Stones is done. It's not even the fourth minute and Madrid's already bouncing. But long way to go. Again, long way to go. Absolutely long way to go. It's just the fourth minute. I think Stones is done. That the mistake was from Ruben Diaz. The mistake was from Ruben Diaz, to be honest.